Let's go.
Hey everyone, and welcome back or welcome to my channel. Today's topic will be a follow-up to my initial filler member video, but this time on 3rd gen girl groups. Once again, this is an opinion-based video and doesn't mean their existence within the group is completely useless, since there's always a reason to debut a member. However, one reason that they could just seem filler is because they're underutilized to the point where removing them won't really impact the group as much to me. But obviously, we could all see things differently, and so for this video, I have 6 groups in mind that I'll kind of discuss, and I'll use the same criteria as last video, which is skill based, but obviously this also doesn't factor in the other aspects of K-pop. But yeah, before I start, I'd appreciate it if you could like and subscribe to my channel. Without further ado, let's start off with the first group. Starting off with a pretty spicy one, because I could see onces come for me just because of what I say. I know OT9 twice for sure, but also if we were to use my own criteria, then all of a sudden, I don't know if we do need them all-ish, respectfully. I mean, starting with rap, this one was a clear no-brainer in terms of the main rapper being Chaeyoung. However, for the lead rapper, it was kind of a toss-up between Dahyun and Momo. I know technically Dahyun is treated more like a rapper, but when I think of it as a whole, I think I would choose Momo more. Dahyun gets more iconic rap lines, which makes her stand out, but at the same time, I do wonder whether she made them iconic or whether the lines were iconic by themselves, and that low-key maybe someone else could have made these lines iconic as well. Momo would also fall within the dance line too, with Mina as another for sure. As well as that, I want to throw in Jihyo just because her stage presence makes her dancing seem more elevated. I think a few idols can maintain such consistent energy, and so she really is that girl when it comes to dancing. Similar to Momo, Jihyo would also be part of the vocal line with Nayeon. I mean, they're the most utilized voices within TWICE, and for that reason, it kind of makes sense that they feel a little integral. This was gonna be it, but then most of the groups in this video are pretty big, so I'ma once again include some wildcard members, which for TWICE, it's gotta be Sana. Of the remaining members, I think she has the most potential in terms of stan attracting with her performance style. She really doesn't have that one skill that you can associate with her, but something about her aura still makes her stand out, and so that would help complement this alternate version of TWICE. But yeah, that leaves Jonghyun, Dahyun, and Jui as the filler members, which I'll once again throw out there because I'm not trying to fight people. This might be just because they're heavily underutilized, which I can see for sure with Jonghyun and Jui. It's not me calling them useless, it's just them getting overshadowed, and so that's why I feel like their presence hasn't completely been significant within TWICE so far. I mean, if I did I.O.I and Kepler, then I gotta do the OG Mnet girl group that is I.O.I. Despite some heavy biasing that might happen in this section, because they really are the ideal of idols, I still feel like there's still some quote-unquote filler members. I mean, following the same order, we got the rap line in which the dynamic duo of Yoojung and Nayeon would be the best choices, considering they seem the most determined out of the trio, considering they had writing credits within their music despite I.O.I being temporary. For dancing, I mean, this is a clear no-brainer in that we're gonna have to choose Chungxiao. I mean, an absolute legend. Other than that, I want to say Yoojung and Kyeolgyung were my other 2 picks just because those 3 kind of convey 3 different styles while still being able to adapt to each other's style. You really get the best of both worlds. For vocals, I mean, the other dynamic duo of Sejong and Yeonjung is clear as day. I swear, there are a few groups with such contrasting main vocals, one who can emote so well that all of a sudden you start to empathize like you've been through it, and then the other one who's got multiple lungs as backup when she sings. But yeah, as for the wild card, I mean, this one's gotta go to Somi. I wouldn't say she would be top tier in any of the skills, but she can reinterpret it to make it her own, which is a good way to add flavor to I.O.I. So yeah, that leaves Chaeyoung, Sohae, Mina, and Doyeon as the filler members for I.O.I, which is kinda disgusting for me to say. Obviously, some of them bring other traits, but in this video, I'm focusing on a few people and a few skills. Funnily enough, I think I got into CLC during their helicopter era, which is an absolute unfortunate because that's literally their final era before they basically went inactive. I obviously did go back to their previous eras, and one thing as Chungxiao will say is that CLC had so much potential and were mismanaged so badly by Cube. But yeah, within CLC, I feel like there's a relatively clear understanding-ish who the quote-unquote filler members are. I mean, they only have one proper rapper being Yeon. Then for dance, that obviously goes to Sungyeon. And then I want to throw I.O.I into the mix. I think they have multiple lead dancers in the form of Yujin and Eunbin, but I thought about the concept of CLC and thought it was kind of similar to Lightsum in that Yujin and Eunbin don't really suit the girl crush side of CLC. So when considering the group as a whole, I thought that I.O.I would suit the group a bit more, as well as her being a lead vocalist, even though I don't think she really gets that much lines to show her vocals. As for vocals, I mean, another two clear choices of Seunggi and Son should do the job, but yeah, that leaves Yujin and Eunbin as the filler members, which while doing quote-unquote research, I was shocked to learn that Yujin is apparently the center of the group. I don't know if it's because they started off with a more different concept before transitioning to Girl Crush, but she did not really give off that vibe, which shows an importance of how concept may impact how you're seen within the group. Luckily, she's been thriving-ish a bit more in Kepler, who has been doing a concept that actually suits Yujin, but obviously in my previous video, I still called her a filler member, but that's for a different reason. Her in CLC was because concept-wise, it didn't really match, but now within Kepler, I feel like she's just being underutilized. The way that Weki Meki has been treated is so unfortunate. I mean, Weki Meki really out here paved the way for Teen Crush, and for them to not really get much recognition for their contribution. But yeah, with rap, I was contemplating whether they needed a lead rapper because I know for sure we have Yoojung as the clear main rapper. However, do we need another rapper to add their own flair? Or can we pull something like G-Idol where we know that one rapper alone has that impact to kind of just do everything in terms of rapping? I mean, when I think about Weki Meki, they don't really go too crazy on the raps and it's not really a killing point. So maybe Yoojung should be all goods by herself in the rap line. With dancing, I mean that goes to Lua and Yoojung, who are the two that kind of stand out to me the most. Yoojung has always been good, but Lua still shines well with her dancing skills despite receiving bad line distribution. So the fact that I can still see her means she's low-key doing something right in my eyes. As for vocals, I think we'll definitely have Suyeon, but then for the other lead vocalists, I mean, I want to say Doyeon and Ali would be thrown into the mix as well. Doyeon because she gives Nayeon vibes when it comes to vocals. She's pretty up there in terms of getting lines where all of a sudden now she feels pretty integral for Weki Meki's vocals. Then for Ali, I mean, she is really surprising me in Queendom Puzzle, considering Fantagio has been hiding her all this time. This leaves Se, Rina, and Lucy as the filler members, which I know for sure Weki Meki is in a position where they've only been constantly promoting the successful produced contestants of Doyeon and Yoojung. Like literally, there's been little to no promotional activities for the others, which is why I know for sure when I say filler members for Weki Meki specifically, I'm referring to being underutilized. Hoping they get at least one more comeback before contract renewals because I can honestly see Fantagio low-key disbanding them with the way that Fantagio has rolled out their group activities and with the new debut of their new boy group, and I guess potentially they might have a girl group in the making. It seems like it's the end of the road for Weki Meki. Oh my god. Literally, when you think the whole Weki Meki situation is sad, and then bam, Pristin comes kicking the door. I mean, the whole meme of we are Pristin to where is Pristin to we were Pristin still low-key hurts, not gonna lie. The biggest wasted potential, and to have such a banger of a subunit like Pristin V, all the members were low-key assigned many roles, so it felt like they were all kind of legit and aces in the making. Despite this, there were low-key a lot of members, and then combine that with the limited comebacks, then you get less chance to shine. And so that's kind of why it's easy-ish to identify filler members. With that being said, the rap line would definitely go to Rena and Nayeon. I mean, both of them showcased a lot of great skill within Produce, all the way up to their Pristin V era. For dancers, I could only really imagine Kyeolgyung for some reason. Like, everyone was pretty decent, but I don't know if it's on a main dancer level where I could still acknowledge it. But yeah, for vocals, that would clearly go to Unu and Sungyeon. I was low-key surprised to see Yehana as another main vocalist for Pristin, but she had never really got her chance to show much, and so that's why I'm not including her. I do have a wild card though for Pristin, and that would be Xion. Probably the definition of jack of all trades, master of none. Like, she could easily support any of the skill lines with her experience, and then she would do it so naturally without it feeling like, oh, she just got added there. But yeah, that leaves Roa, Yuha, Yehana, and Kyla as the filler members, which for Roa and Yuha, re-debuting in Hinapia was a whole rebranding for them. Like, Unu and Rena were always kind of known, but Hinapia brought Roha and Yuha into the spotlight for me. I mean, low-key, if we were to include Hinapia era as a whole form of evaluation, then easily without a doubt, I would add Yuha into the rap line. But yeah, we just had to have a pandemic ruin the second chances for 4 of the Pristin members when they could have slowly built up a solid fan base. Like, literally, why? And finally, we have Ujusonya, which I might go quick on this one just because I know them-ish, but also kinda don't really. I casually listened to them from 2021 and onwards, but Queendom 2 kinda made me see their songs in a different light. The only reason why I'm doing them is just because they started off with 13 members, and so clearly members would feel pretty filler by being underutilized just because how are you gonna fit all those members into a decent amount of distribution? But yeah, rapping goes to EXI, of course. Dance goes to Chungxiao and Yoram for their skills that I'm well aware of. Then I want to throw Sola into the mix just because she low-key captivates with the way that she dances. And then for vocals, it's gotta be Yeonjung and Dawon as the obvious and my favorite vocal. Then with the 7 remaining members that I haven't touched upon, I clearly gotta pick one wild card, which I think I'll pick Bona. I think it was a toss-up between Unso and Bona for me. However, when really thinking about it, I low-key feel like Unso could give off the same vibes as Sola. Not sure what exactly, but yeah, I do want all the members to be kind of distinct, and so for that kind of weird reason, that's why I'm choosing Bona as my wild card. So that leaves Subin, Luda, Unso, Dayoung, Xuanyi, and Meiqi as the filler members, which not completely sure whether that's even an okay list, but definitely let me know if I was kind of on the right track if you were to kind of use my criteria. Final thoughts. Obviously, once again, we all see things differently, and so this might not be how you see some of these groups. We all have different criterias when it comes to listing filler members, like how I'm forming these groups based on skills first, whereas you might see other things like the ability to entertain, visuals, or even the unlimited amount of members in certain skill lines. But yeah, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching, and let me know whether you agree with my opinion or whether you think other members within these groups listed have filler members that I don't necessarily think are filler, but you think give off filler energy. Do feel free to drop your opinions for other 3rd gen groups not mentioned too, because the last filler member video was pretty dry in the opinion department. Other than that, I think I'll be ending my Queendom review sooner than expected just because I don't know if it's hitting as much. I literally didn't even realize the past 2 episodes came out until like Friday-ish, but I've still got that Luna video in mind, which will take a bit of time to research properly, so it might be another 2 weeks before I get another video out. But if you're interested, please like and subscribe to keep up to date, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!